The wind howled through the dark, tempestuous night as the ship battled against the furious waves. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the raging sea for brief, terrifying moments. The crew of the SS Esperanza strained to keep the vessel afloat, their hearts pounding with fear and exhaustion. Captain Jameson stared out into the abyss, his eyes squinting against the rain and salt water that lashed against his weathered face. He had sailed these treacherous waters for years, but never had he encountered a storm as ferocious as this. The ship groaned under the strain, as if protesting its battle against the elements. Just when hope seemed to fade, a shout came from the lookout. "Ship ahead!" The crew's spirits lifted momentarily, thinking their ordeal might be coming to an end. But as they strained their eyes to see through the torrential rain, their hopes turned to dread. There, emerging from the mist, was a ghostly vessel. Its masts cracked and creaked, its sails tattered and barely holding on. The ship seemed to glide effortlessly through the storm, defying the laws of physics. Captain Jameson had heard tales of haunted seas, but he had never encountered such a spectral sight himself. The ghost ship drew closer, and the crew watched in awe and terror as its bow scraped against the side of the Esperanza. A bone-chilling chill permeated the air, as if death itself had boarded their ship. The crew hurriedly secured the lines, attempting to prevent the ghost ship from pulling them under. But their efforts were in vain. As the ghost ship latched onto the Esperanza, an otherworldly energy filled the air. The crew felt a sense of foreboding, a palpable presence that sent shivers down their spines. Unseen hands seemed to grip their hearts, tightening their chests with an icy grip. Whispers echoed through the ship's corridors, disembodied voices carrying ancient curses and eerie laughter. The crew huddled together, their faces pale with terror, as they realized that the spirits of the ghost ship's long-dead crew had infiltrated their vessel. Night after night, the crew endured torment. The spirits of the pirate crew would appear in their dreams, tormenting them with visions of their violent past. Ghostly figures roamed the decks, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls. Objects moved on their own, sliding across the floors, while eerie whispers followed the crew wherever they went. As days turned into weeks, the crew's once strong spirits dwindled. Fear consumed them, draining their energy and hope. Captain Jameson refused to give in, rallying his men with fervent speeches about resilience and survival. But even he could not deny the creeping sense of despair that gnawed at his own heart. One night, as the crew gathered in the mess hall, a thick fog enveloped the ship. Shadows danced in the mist, and a ghastly figure emerged from the swirling darkness. It was the specter of Captain Blackbeard himself, his eyes gleaming with a malevolent light. With a voice that echoed through the room, Captain Blackbeard proclaimed, "Your ship now belongs to us, and your souls shall serve us in eternity." As the crew watched in terror, their bodies began to freeze, as if an invisible force were paralyzing them. They tried to scream, but their voices were stolen by the ethereal presence that surrounded them. One by one, the crew members transformed into ghostly apparitions, their bodies fading into the mist. Captain Jameson, the last one remaining, found himself alone on the deserted ship. The ghostly pirates had claimed the souls of his crew, and now they turned their attention to him. Their spectral bodies closed in around Captain Jameson, their hollow eyes fixed upon him with an insatiable hunger. Their ghostly forms swirled with an ethereal glow, their translucent fingers reaching out to him like icy tendrils. With every step they took, the temperature dropped, the air thickening with an oppressive aura. Captain Jameson's breath turned to frost as he desperately tried to retreat, his mind racing for a way to escape the clutches of these vengeful spirits. As the ghostly pirates closed in, Captain Jameson's gaze fell upon a flickering lantern hanging on the wall. With a glimmer of hope, he reached out and grabbed it, knowing that fire had always been a deterrent to supernatural beings. Summoning every ounce of courage left within him, Captain Jameson struck a match and ignited the lantern. The flame flickered to life, casting a warm glow that pushed back the encroaching darkness. The ghostly pirates recoiled, their ethereal forms wavering as they instinctively shied away from the light. Taking advantage of their momentary hesitation, Captain Jameson stumbled backward, his heart pounding with both fear and determination. He raced through the deserted halls of the ship, the echoes of ghostly whispers fading behind him. As he reached the deck, the storm raged on, lightning illuminating the vast expanse of the ocean. Captain Jameson knew that his only chance of survival was to abandon the cursed vessel. He glanced back one last time, seeing the ghost ship fade into the distance, its spectral form blending with the mist and rain. Summoning every ounce of strength, Captain Jameson leaped from the Esperanza into the churning waters below. The icy waves enveloped him, threatening to pull him under. But he fought against the relentless current, swimming with desperate strokes toward the distant horizon. Hours passed as Captain Jameson battled the elements, his body growing weaker with every stroke. Just as his strength began to wane, a passing cargo ship spotted his exhausted form bobbing in the water. They hauled him aboard, his trembling body barely clinging to life. As Captain Jameson lay recovering in the ship's infirmary, he recounted his harrowing ordeal to the crew, warning them of the cursed ghost ship that haunted the treacherous seas. The tale spread like wildfire, becoming a cautionary legend among sailors who dared to venture into those haunted waters. Years later, Captain Jameson's name was forever etched in maritime history as the sole survivor of the doomed SS Esperanza. But deep within his soul, the horrors he witnessed never truly left him. In the darkest hours of the night, he would awaken drenched in sweat, haunted by the echoes of ghostly whispers and the chilling touch of phantom hands. For the rest of his days, Captain Jameson lived with the knowledge that he had narrowly escaped the clutches of vengeful spirits. He became a recluse, seeking solace in the solitude of the land, never daring to set foot on a ship again. And as for the ghost ship that had taken the souls of his crew, it continued its cursed existence, forever roaming the stormy seas, forever in search of new victims to claim. Its spectral sails billowed in the wind, a macabre reminder of the horrors that awaited those who dared to sail too close to its domain. To this day, the legend of the ghost ship and its pirate crew lives on, a cautionary tale whispered among sailors, a reminder that the spirits of the past can still reach out from the depths of the abyss to claim the unwary souls who dare to cross their path.